Hello and welcome back to Spirit Rebels, our magical podcast where Helen and I discuss all things weird, wonderful, magical, spiritual, and anything else that kind of comes up on the day. It is lovely to be back after our mini mid-chapter break. Is that what we're going to call it? I don't
Yeah,
quite
I think
know.
so. Little siesta.
Yeah. So just to kind of recap, I am Shelley and I am here with the beautiful
Helen. We always talk about this. Why do we sing? But we just can't help it. So it's going to stay. It's something
Yeah,
we're going to keep doing.
it's just our thing. Do other people do that? I don't
I
know.
don't
I've
know.
never heard anyone do that. Hello, I love that. And we are back in your ears for we getting confused over the language because we've decided to call it chapter two, and we like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
our mouths keep saying season two, and that's not what we wanted. So chapter two, chapter two. We are back with chapter two. We have some amazing episodes lined up for you that will take you all the way through Christmas and to the end of January, I do believe.
Yeah.
But today is episode one. But just before we kind of get into the details of what we're talking about today, Helen and I are just gonna have a little catch up. So just don't mind us. We'll have a little chit chat and be included in our little catch up. So Helen, my darling, it has been 3 weeks since we have had our earphones and mics on. How are you feeling? What have you been up to? What's been going on for you?
All is good. A couple of updates. So I've definitely made the decision to have a break in my study. So that
Yay.
decision is made. And although I feel a bit sad about it, oh my God, it's like a weight has lifted off my shoulders. And I think sitting on that decision and wrestling with it, it was just, you just have to make a decision. I think
Yeah.
that's the thing, guys. Make a decision, and then it's just the relief of having made that decision. So definitely done that. And then my daughter's turned 14 now.
Wow.
So
Happy birthday,
that
Lily.
is
Yay.
mental, to think I now have a 14-year-old. And the last bit of news is there's still no man.
Oh,
Not a date,
damn it.
nothing.
How are you feeling about that situation, though? How are you feeling about relationship
Um,
wise?
I feel actually a lot better in terms of still desperately want it. I do.
Yeah.
If a lovely man could come into my life, it would be phenomenal. However, I also feel very calm and relaxed that maybe just now is not the right time, and that
Yeah.
I know it will happen. I know
Yeah.
it will happen. So I'm sort of coming to terms with that a lot more, and yeah, just enjoying life. I'm so busy with work. I'm loving my job, but I'm like, it's, crazy. I've got Lils, I've got all my wonderful friends and family. So I'm happy. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But happy's
life's
good.
good.
Happy's good. Happy's good. I am
How about
excited when that
you?
day comes along. Oh gosh, just busy, busy, busy. I live Paul laughs at me. I live my life where I'm kind of like tangled up in loads of projects and doing the stuff that I do automatically anyway. I've got my witch schools and stuff, and then I'm like, oh, I've got this idea, I'm gonna do it. And then when I'm doing it, I'm like, oh wow, this is really full on. Okay, I'm just gonna get to the end of this, and then I can just take a breather, take a step back, everything will be fine. I'll catch up with myself. But then inevitably, before I get to the end of the first project, I don't know what happens. I just find myself sitting at my laptop launching the next project before giving myself a breather. And I've done that again. And yeah, so it just keeps going. But it's because I'm so damn excited about everything. I sat the other day, I was meant to be doing one job clearly and just went off doing something side questing, we call it. And I've got a big whiteboard up on my office wall with like ideas and things on. And I just kind of glanced at it and I went, oh, that was like last year's, that was 2024's ideas and plans. And I was like, oh, well, I've done that, and I've done that, and I've done that, and I've done that. So I rubbed it all off and I've written 2025, and I've got this list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 things I want to launch next year. That is a lot of things.
That
Um,
is a lot.
so I am in hyper excited mode about what is coming. Like really, really excited about what is coming. But with lots of change still again. I a really, really, really big family milestone this week. I went to a college open evening with my baby boy this week, and
Oh,
he has applied for college. Um, and I'm so proud of him. I'm welling up just thinking about it. I'm so proud of him. But at the same time, I'm just like, as a mom, watching your kids go through these big milestones. He's just done his mocks. That was the last like week or so before half term. And as a mom, you know, you see, you know, logically, you see them doing these things, and you know they're capable, and everything's fine. But in your head, they're still 5 years old, and I feel like I'm just about to put my 5 year old on a train to Newcastle to go and find his way and do a course and
Yeah.
everything else. And I'm like, oh my God, my baby. That's my baby.
The
That's
irony
my
is, though,
baby.
he's so ready for that,
Oh
but us as
yeah.
the parents, as the mums, or as you say, mams, I love that.
Yeah.
It's we can't let go. You know,
No.
we still hold on, but actually they're so
It's
ready,
oh
and it's
God.
really brilliant, isn't it, for their development and watching them grow? But oh, it's
Yeah.
so hard as a
I think
mum.
the thing is, I think about what I was doing when I was 50.
You naughty, naughty.
Well, I had my moments. And but you know what? He's just so different. Like he's just so, so different. He's such a sensible boy. And I trust him implicitly. Like he is amazing. I mean, he's never in 15 years given me one moment of, oh my God, what is he doing? What is he up to? Tris just really is. He's my little rock. And he is absolutely ready for it, but I can feel that he's scared, but it's like scared sighted. He's excited for
Yeah,
it. He knows it's right, but it is, well, you remember yourself when you had to, do new things. And he was talking about staying on for sixth form, and he doesn't want to. He wants to go to Newcastle College, and there is a game design course, the BTEC course. So he actually
perfect for
comes out with
him.
the equivalent of three A levels. So it's qualification, it's UCAS points if he wants to go on to uni or whatever. And so this is what he wants to do, and this is what he's applied for. And so he's very focused. He knows what he wants, and everything that I've taught him about seeing where you're going to be in the future and believing it's possible. And I just think back, when we were younger, stuff like that would have been, oh well, what you're gonna have to have something to fall back on, or you're gonna have to, it's not
Mm,
very academic, and what are you gonna do with that? And I'm really trying to just let him be him and go. I've taught both my kids that if you continue to follow your heart, you will find success. Because I genuinely believe in that. If you can get away from insecurities, other people's expectations, fears, doubts, you'll find success because your vibration's so high, you'll just
mhm.
attract all the opportunities, the success, and all the wonderful stuff into your life. And he's doing that. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But it's amazing to watch him do it. And it's just, I think as a mom, you get, or a parent, every now and again, something happens to give you a bit of a shake. And it's like, oh, you're really growing up. And when they're younger, it's little things like they'll come downstairs wearing a favorite pair of pajamas, and suddenly they're up like near their knees and up their
Yeah.
elbows and stuff. And something in your head goes, wow, you've really grown. And then when I'm walking into college with him and he's looking around going, oh, it's huge and everything else, I'm looking at him going, I like looking up at him because he's got about a head on me.
Yeah.
And I'm 5'8", and this kid's like towering above me. And it's like a bit of oh, we did it. We got this far, it's 15 years and we're both still alive. And I've got another one and she's still alive as well. Wow, I'm getting really emotional thinking about it. But
Oh,
yeah.
Shells, you're such a lush mum. You're so lucky.
Oh, you wouldn't
So,
be
so
saying that
lucky.
if you heard me shout, "What the hell are you doing with all those bowls in your bedroom? You're gonna have attract flies and mice and all sorts into your room." But yeah, so it's been a big that for me this year's big because a lot of my focus is going on Tris. Supporting him, sitting down, doing like revision plans and trying to help him. It's even silly things like helping him remember dates and of when things happen because he's doing history GCSE and dates of stuff and I can't help him with maths in the slightest, but I can help with all his English and his history and research stuff. And well, you know what I'm like with my teaching. I do enjoy. I can teach like literally anything, even if I don't know anything about it. It's a bit of a gift. So I'm getting to spend more time with him, I guess, doing things like that, which is really lovely. But it's kind of putting a new slant on our relationship in some ways, and to see him
Yeah.
trusting in me. And I feel really lucky and I feel really grateful at the fact that he could just shut himself away and say, no, I'm doing it myself, but he's
Mm.
actually letting me support him and be
Well,
there.
you're evolving into the next stage, aren't you now? So you're
Yeah.
evolving into young adulthood, is what I
Yeah.
would probably call
Ah!
it. And I know it's scary, but it's fast approaching for all of us, you
Um,
know. And it's a difficult time, but it's also a beautiful time. Just
yeah.
watching them develop and grow and become their, you know, just thinking very clearly and sensibly for themselves. So,
Yeah. And I
oh,
guess it comes down to the fact, isn't it? I think parenthood is investment. From the minute or before they're born, you're investing time, you're investing energy, you're investing, and knowing what, if you think back to everything we've talked about through chapter one, about, hidden beliefs and all that kind of stuff. And we do have an episode coming up. I think it's chapter three now, isn't it? About kids. But it's about believing that actually the investment you've made with them over the last 15 years is actually going to start paying off now,
yeah,
and trusting that you've given them everything positively that you can give them so that they can drive their life forward. It's like handing over the reins. We've been in control of their life for such a long time. No, you will eat this for breakfast and you will do this and you will do that and you won't do that. Don't touch that, put it down, stop licking that. And then they get to a point where you've just got to trust that they won't lick anything weird anymore and just go off and do their own thing. So it's yeah, double-edged sword, double-edged sword. And I'm going to take up this whole episode talking about Tristan's college application.
well, that's absolutely fine. It's fine. But we also have, obviously, so this episode, obviously, welcome back to us. I've
Yay!
really, really missed. I know it's only been 3 weeks, but I've really missed recording. So I
Yeah.
hope our listeners are excited for us to be back in their ears every Sunday at 11:11.
Yay. Magic hour, magic
Yeah.
hour.
So no, really excited for this series of chapter two. Lots of great episodes coming up. I mean, in no particular order, but we'll have things on um, anxiety, crystals, blocks and resistance. We've got all sorts coming up, haven't we?
We
And
have.
what else are we doing this chapter, Shelley? We're doing something we haven't yet done before.
Oh yeah, we are. We're doing a special magical Christmas episode, or Yuletide from the witch's point of view. And we're going to film, aren't we, Helen? We're going to get
We're
the
going to
cameras on and we are going to film us recording it, which is something we haven't done yet. And I'm quite excited for it because it won't just be Helen seeing my arms waving around in the air when I'm getting passionate and excited about vibrations and gratitude and whatever else I talk about, bees and spoons. So yes, I'm really excited about that. But so it is going to be a little bit different. But if you guys like it, it might encourage us to do a few more filmed episodes
Yeah.
and
I mean, we
see
have
how
to
that
be
goes.
honest. At the moment, we literally rock up to film. I mean, Shelley always looks lovely, but I mean, literally every episode, my hair's up on my head. I've pulled something out of the wardrobe. You know, I've got no makeup on, and so we're thinking, oh God, if we have to film, we actually
Yeah.
have to make a little bit of an effort here.
I call this look my swamp witch look. Is what I call it. I go downstairs to Paul, I go, I look like a swamp witch. And he'll go, you look beautiful. I go, I'm a
You're a
beautiful
very
swamp
pretty
witch.
swamp witch, then.
I haven't even got a bra on. I'm resting my boobs on my desk.
I love it. I have got a bra on, but I would actually probably prefer not to. And like you say, let them fall because they're not upright anymore like they should be. You know, when you go into card shops and you see those cards with the women and the boobs on the floor, I like laugh at that and think, shit, I'm there already. Sorry.
Oh, so as you can see, listeners, the laughter and the hilarity has not changed. We've brought it forwards into this chapter, boobs and all, boobs and all. But did
Oh
you
dear.
say so at the end of the last chapter, we put a little thing out on in the episode and on a post in our socials, and we asked if anyone had any questions that they would like addressed as we moved into chapter two. So I think, is that what we're doing this morning, my
Yeah,
love?
it is. It is because we did actually get asked three questions, didn't we? Three
We did.
specific questions.
Yeah.
So we are going to read out the questions, and then discuss and answer them. So
Yeah.
shall we start, Shall I start with the
Let's.
first one?
Yeah,
Are
go
we
for it.
going to say who they're from? Do you think
Yeah.
people are happy? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Shall I
yeah.
just do first names or everything?
Just do first names just in case, yeah.
Right. We just got to get the rules right, people.
Yeah.
Okay, so our first question is from one of our lovely listeners called Rachel. And she said, I have spotted a house I'd like to manifest for my parents. It is beautiful, good location for babysitting, and way over budget. Any tips? She adds, you know me in houses. I think this is somebody you know well, Shells.
Yeah.
So, yeah, talk us through about Rachel and houses, and what do we
Okay.
think as an answer to Rachel for this one?
First of all, can I just say I love this because I feel like an agony aunt. I think that feels great. I love this. Second of all, thank you so much, Rachel. It is lovely to hear from you. So Rachel was the lady that I did my first podcast with. Just say yes. So if
Wow.
anyone has listened to me waffling on in the past, it may have been with Rachel. I found Rachel really found me a long, long time ago when she was launching her first podcast, which was called The Cynic's Guide to Hippie Shit, where she was interviewing lots of different people who did hippie shit, I guess is the way I best to describe it. And she wanted to talk to someone all about witchcraft. So she came along to witch school, did a witch school night with me and with us, and then interviewed me. And then one thing led to another and to another and to another, and we ended up with our own podcast. Anyway, let's get back to your question. So Rachel, you and I have worked together with this because Rachel actually took part in my Taking Life from Shite to Bright course, which will be relaunching bigger and better than ever in January, may I say. And I am like itching to get that going. So you know the deal. So Rachel has already manifested herself a house with a purple kitchen. She has manifested herself an actual human being because she wanted a baby, and now she has. Well, actually, I think she's now nearly two, I do believe. Yeah, so you know you can do this. Come back always when we are manifesting. We have to examine our beliefs really, really closely. And if you are a new manifester, think doing things like setting up a vision board and positive visualization and all that sort of stuff, that's great and that's exciting. But if you want to move past those initial, mini miracles, let's say, and you want to go for something a bit bigger, something that, as you say, is air quotes out of budget or over budget, you got to start digging in deeper. So we come back to our 3 points that we look at with manifestation. Do you believe it is possible? It is safe for you to have this, and you are worthy and deserving of having this. And I think for this one, especially, and I'm just leaning into the energy there, this is about possibility. We're kind of, well, life trains us, doesn't it, to have a belief about what is possible and what is not possible. And we kind of see the bigger things as being out of reach or, miracles that would never happen to us, stuff that's just, it just seems a bit far-fetched, a bit too big. I've got a thumb going up on my
Yeah,
screen. I don't know
I know.
why.
I wondered what that was about.
It's the universe going, yeah, Shelley, yeah, you're right.
That was really weird because you were talking like that and then this thumb just came up. I am not touching
No,
anything.
neither of my keyboards up there.
Oh
I'm not
my
doing
goodness,
anything.
guys. So
Oh,
well, Rachel, there's a
yeah.
thumb up here to
Yeah, the
this.
universe is saying it's definitely happening. I was once doing a reading. I'll come back to Rachel's question, I promise. But I was once doing a reading and I was getting Archangel. There was an online reading for someone, and I was getting Archangel Michael through really, really strongly. And every time I said the word Archangel Michael, the little wavy hand, the little like wave came up on the screen in front
No
of us.
way.
Every time I said ask Archangel Michael, the wave would come up and it would just wave. And I was like, is that Michael waving at us? That was just so bizarre.
I love it.
But hey, I'll take it. Angels
Yeah.
getting involved in our technology. That's absolutely cool by me. Anyway, let's get back to Rachel's question. So for me, I'm feeling it's the possibility thing. You use the words there over budget, which instantly tells me that you are carrying a belief that the house that comes along for your parents needs to be up to a certain amount of money. Well, that's normal human stuff. That's normal human normalness. And when we're working with law of attraction and manifestation, we got to skip out of, the normal stuff. And it's about being open to the possibility that something that is unexpected and miraculous can actually happen. And we don't know how. And again, it's about getting away from those hows because we are so good at, well, I want this. Okay, how is it going to happen? Well, I can't see how it's going to happen. Oh, well, I don't really believe it's going to happen then. Oh, well, I'll do my affirmations and I'll write me positive statements down and stuff. But if I can't see how it's going to happen, then really it's not very possible, is it?
And then that's
But
the vibe that you're
yeah,
sort of letting off, even
and
if it's unbeknown to you.
yeah, exactly. But we then are assuming that we are cleverer than the universe, and we're not. I mean, you know what? I'm very bloody clever, but I'm not as clever as the universe. I'm also not as clever as I think I am either. So we have to trust that if we believe in a miracle, then the universe can provide us with that miracle. And the miracle may be the house itself. The miracle may be the money to get the house. The miracle may be the means to get the money to get the house. You know, we don't know where it's going to come from, but it's about just letting go and surrendering to it completely. So first piece of advice, hint or tip, surrender to it. Drop the how and just believe it is possible. We then have to start kind of digging a little bit deeper, I guess, because if it's the case that this whole idea of possibility is what is stopping you from bringing that house in, then that's what needs cleared. That's what needs cleared up. And whether we use Ho'oponopono, you know, that beautiful, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I thank you, I love you. Whether it's about rewriting and reprogramming those beliefs with some deep belief type work, whether it is about just, leaning into the idea that um, miraculous things do happen. And here, Rachel, this is where you have a bit of an advantage because you have evidence, and humans love evidence, don't we? We don't believe that things can happen unless we've got evidence to prove
But
it.
is that part of the problem? Because this is for her parents, so it's a parent's house. Rachel clearly can manifest because she's
Yeah,
manifested a house with a purple kitchen, a
yeah,
child.
yeah.
She obviously wants this for her parents, but her parents have to get themselves into a state of mentally believing and knowing that they can get this to happen. So
Yeah,
is
that
that part of the issue here actually?
it
It's
yeah, I mean it is a big factor. I guess it gets really knotty and tangly when you're working with other people. See, the way that I would look at this is look at it for your own benefit. So, you know, you said in your message about
good
it
for
being in,
babysitting,
yeah,
good location.
perfect location for babysitting. So that's for you. You want those babysitters. You also want your parents close. So look at it for you because if you're trying to manifest it for your mum and dad, then it might be a case of they are getting in the way. But if you're doing it for you, then only your vibration will actually count. You also have to look in there about your feelings. So if there are any hidden limiting beliefs about, well, I'm not actually having them that close will be good for babysitting, but oh my God, are they going to turn up in my kitchen every morning and be taking over my life and all that sort of
Have
stuff.
a key to the house and just
Yeah.
walk in. Hi, I'm here.
Yeah. You get home from work to find them like sitting in the, what are you doing? Well, you might want that. Some people do. I like my privacy, but that's me. So yes, if there are any little hidden worries or niggles, then you need to iron those out as well because they will stop. They will any negative kind of thought will stop all that positive stuff from going out there. But you do have the evidence. You've got the evidence of that it is possible. Something that seems a little bit out of your reach, something that seems like it is a miracle. You've got evidence to prove that you can do this. So, okay, this is maybe the next step up, but well, we all, it's good for us to keep challenging ourselves and keep growing and expanding in our abilities and our knowledge. So, to kind of sum up, my response would be number one, see it for yourself, not for them. Like Helen says, it could be your parents' vibration that is actually getting in the way of it. Number two, address those possible kind of thoughts and feelings. Do you actually believe it's possible? And if not, if there's a little in there somewhere, you need to get that cleaned up. Clean it, clean it, clean it, clean it, clean it. And number three, use those techniques you use to manifest the stuff that you have already manifested, those vision boards, those positive affirmations, the visualization, all that stuff. It works. It really, really does work. But if this is the next level up, let's just say, then this means you've got to dig a little bit deeper down to clear out a little bit more stuff that's holding you back before you can actually achieve what it is you want to achieve. But I believe in you. I think you got this. And I'm excited to hear that it's all come about.
So we want updates, Rachel. You'll have
Yes,
to
we
message
do.
us, keep us updated on this. So
Yes, we do.
fantastic response, Shaz. Well, obviously I can't add to that because I'm not the expert. I am here as the pupil, as we all know. But yeah, just believe, and I think it can happen.
Yeah.
So we have another question, and this question's from Claire. And she says, hello. I was wondering what your day-to-day spiritual and magical practice looks like. Then she added, love the podcast, by the way. You and Helen crack me up. Ah, that's nice, isn't it? Thank you. Thank you so much, Claire. So what do our day-to-day spiritual and magical practices look like?
Well, before we get into that, can I just give Claire a little plug because I met Claire at one of my witch schools. Lovely, lovely lady. And she has very recently just launched her own Etsy shop. She's an artist and she has some fabulous, fabulous stuff. And she is called Wild Color Creations. I know she's on TikTok.
I'm literally looking it up now on Etsy because I'm a huge Etsy user. So let me look her up. What did you say?
Wild Color Creations. I know she's on Instagram and she's on TikTok with links through to our Etsy shop there, and she's fab. She's got some witchy stuff, which I think like witchy prints and stuff, which I think are amazing.
Oh, well, Claire, we're all going to start following you and we'll start looking at your Etsy shop, which I'm currently doing as we speak. Oh, yeah, she's got some lovely. Oh, she's even got earrings on there, crochet earrings. Oh, I love an earring. Oh, well, hopefully, Claire, this little plug helps. It's coming up to Christmas, guys. Take a look at Wild Color Creation UK.
Yeah, that's what she's called. Is that her Etsy name?
Yeah, that's her Etsy name.
Fab,
I've got her right here.
There we go.
I'm now liking her.
There you go. And right, let's get back to our question. So day-to-day practice. Well, you know what? I think it varies. And I think that yeah, I think I'm not going to take over this conversation again. Helen, I'm going to put it back at you. You tell me about your spiritual practice and let's go from there.
Okay, so bearing in mind I am the pupil here, so my things will be a lot less than Shell's, but for me, it was something I took from our previous chapters, actually. Do you remember when we were talking about angels and we talked about the fact that we only speak to our angels when we need something? And I reflected on that and I thought, oh my God, I do that. So do you know what I've started doing? And it's become lovely. So driving in to work, I go into Yeovil 4 days a week, pretty much. So it's over an hour's drive, so each way. So that's quite a lot of time in the car. I'm on my own. So I now, every morning in the car, have chats to my angels. I just have chats with them, like, how are they? Are they enjoying seeing things down here I talk to them about? I'm like, just thanking them and things. So for me, I've always talked about gratitude being a big thing, and gratitude always was. I used to be religious at my 3 gratitude points a day, but that becomes unsustainable, really. So for me now, what's working really well is just that little bit of time in the car, having a chat to myself. So anybody next to me will either think I'm singing or absolutely mad if they pull up to me at a roundabout, but I don't care. And basically, I just have a chat with the angels and I mainly talk around the things that I'm really grateful for. The fact that I'm even in the car driving to work, I'm alive. I mean, hallelujah, praise the Lord. I've woken up that day and
did you just use the word hallelujah? I love that. Hallelujah.
Exactly. So that's what I've started to do. And I know for some it might sound ridiculous, but it's really, really, really nice for me. And it just sets my day up. It gets me mentally into a really great place before I even get in then to work and maybe challenges that might present themselves. There are at the moment Yeovil's a nightmare to drive into because there's loads of roadworks everywhere and stuff like that. So every day you get late for work. That doesn't stress me out. I'm just in a good Zen place. So I know it might sound a little bit simplistic in comparison to the answer that I'm sure Shelley's about to give, but for me, that works really, really well and does just sets me up mentally and my vibration and just my vibe for the day, really.
I think that sounds lush. And I think so. Sorry, I'm just very sniffy this morning. So my practice varies. It really, really does. And it varies depending on how many spoons I'm running on at any given time. You see, we all have this. Oh, I'm all over the place trying to answer this question. So a lot of people I work with, when I talk about, setting up like a morning routine or a daily spiritual plug-in or practice or, whatever you want to call it, it's almost like we have this preconceived idea that we need to do like 20 minutes meditation and then an ice bath and then this, that, and the other, and then light 6 candles and then do whatever, whatever. And it's going to take us this big, big chunk of time. And it feels like it feels big. It feels really, really, really big. And as humans, we're all very extreme, aren't we? We kind of go, right, this is the ideal. This is what I want. This is what I should. But then if we haven't got the time or the energy to do that great big package, then we just don't do anything at all because, well, what's the point in even doing it? Which isn't the right kind of mindset. So it was actually Paul sent me something the other day on I think it was on TikTok. And it was this guy talking, and I really wish I could remember his name. I can't at the moment, but he came up with this idea, whether he came up with it or just was talking about it, I don't know, that we should have this kind of sliding scale for the spoons that we're running on. He didn't use the word spoons, that's mine. So we have this maximum spoon, which is the perfect package. And if you have plenty time and plenty energy and you're feeling it and all is well, you go for the maximum. If you are kind of running on stress, if you are really busy, if you don't have the brain capacity for a lot of stuff, you have a minimum little thing that you do. And because it's more important to do something rather than, if you can't do that great big ideal package, then at least you've plugged in, you've had that, you've got that something. And that something might just be lighting a candle. It might be having a conversation on your commute with the angels. It might be pulling a card. It might be just standing in your bathroom and taking 3 deep breaths whilst you're in the shower. It could be anything at all, but just something that gives you that little bit of, I'm here with the universe is here with me, all is going to be okay, let's do this. That's what you're looking for, really. And if you can do more, then great, do more. For me, I have 400 snoozes on my alarm because I can't get
Oh,
up
I'm
on the
like
day.
that. I am exactly
Can't.
the same. I love a snooze.
And the worst of it is Paul normally has to wake me up to tell me my alarm's going off.
Oh, poor Paul. We're all going to feel sorry for Paul now.
No, he he
Oh,
he always he's normally stirring before my alarm goes off. He's a proper early bird. He really, really is. So when my first alarm goes off, I kind of snoozily turn over and my hands go on. And I wake up Reikiing because that is just no matter how rubbish I'm feeling, how stressed I'm feeling, that first like 15 minutes is just Reiki healing. There is no big intention with it. There is no mantras or prayers or chanting. There is no incense. There is, nothing like that. I am probably half asleep, but my hands are on, the intention is there, and I'm just like Reiki flow, holy fire on, whatever I say that morning, and it just woof, it just comes through. So I start my day like that. When I'm doing my makeup, I put a little recording of Ho'oponopono on. It takes me 10 minutes to do my makeup, and I've got a 10-minute recording of Ho'oponopono. So that plays while I'm
well,
doing my
just over and
makeup
over saying the words.
over and over again. Yeah. And
Oh,
I
okay. Is it one
listen
that
to
you recorded with your own voice?
yeah, on my YouTube channel, Shelly Magic. It is there. There's a 10-minute one of me just saying it over and over again. I actually play somebody else's because I get cringy listening to my own voice when I do it. So I listen to a lady called Sandra Roulos, who is just fabulous. But I do have one. I would encourage you to listen to mine.
Oh, I'm going to
Um,
listen to it tomorrow, Shells, when
yeah.
I'm getting ready for
Yeah, just
work.
because again, you think that, it has to be, you have to carve out time to do this stuff. And the key is to include it in the stuff
Mm,
that you do. So when I'm doing my makeup, I'll have Ho'oponopono on. I'll just be, as a mascara ring and dabbing foundation in. I'm like, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. And again, not focused on anything specific. If I'm working on something specific, I'll take time out to go and do that and think about that and bring that sort of energy in. But just to kind of set my day up, I'm Ho'oponoponoing as I'm putting my makeup on. Just it just is part of the thing. What else do I do? I'll often do a little chat with the universe whilst I'm in the shower, just like a bit like you with your angels. Just hi, universe, I'm here. Thank you for another day. Oh, something I always do when I go in the bath. See, this sort of stuff I don't even think about. It just kind of happens when I go into the bathroom on a morning. I like fresh air on a morning. I'm always hot first thing on a morning. The hands going up again. It's just did a thing. Oh, I don't know what that is.
oh,
Um,
I didn't see it that time.
no, it just popped up on the
This
bottom
is
of my screen.
scary. People
Weird.
are listening to us recording
Yeah.
this and they are
Oh, they
like,
are.
they're in tune with us and they're going,
Yeah.
this is good stuff. This is good shit, Shells.
Good.
Carry
Hold your
on.
hands up. Yay. So when I go in the bathroom in the morning, I love fresh air. So I always open the window and I'll open the window and I'll look out. And no matter what time of year it is, and you know what? I don't even know how long I've done this for. And I'll always say, like, hello, November sky, or hello, April sky, or hello, January sky, or whatever it is. And it kind of hooks me in and helps me to connect with the energy of the season. So at the minute it's November sky, and
Yeah.
it's an easier kind of energy. It's about taking my time, it's about release, it's about that autumn nice cozy feeling. In the summer when I'm like, hello, August sky, it's more about achievement and doing and success and the bright lights and being seen. So this is following like the witchy wheel of the year, I guess. So there's that I do. There is, so yeah, wake up with Reiki, Ho'oponopono with makeup, talk to the universe in the shower, talk to the sky when I open the windows. What else do I do through the day? And I guess these are kind of like things that just do. Oh, I pull a card on a morning as well. I've got a deck of cards that I don't use for readings or anything else, and they stay on my bedside table upstairs. And I'll pull a card in the morning and just say, what's today all about? Or if I've got something tricksy going on, I'll say, oh, a bit of advice for today for me, please. Just pull one card, sometimes pull
Mm,
three, but more often than not, just pull one. When I'm in the car, so I'll be off on the school run. When we see mint colored cars, we say what one thing we're grateful for, and I force my children to do it. And trying to get a 15-year-old boy to admit he's grateful for something at like 7:45 in the morning, that's a challenge. But I make him. And so we do great gratitude whenever we see mint colored cars. And I know there's a couple parked on the road on our way to on the school run anyway, so we're going to get them. And then if we see yellow cars, we have to make a wish. So this is trying to encourage my kids to manifest and believe and, reach for something more than they've got.
oh, I love
Um,
it. I might
so,
try that.
but,
When we see yellow cars, Lily punches my arm and
well,
says,
that's
yellow
normal.
car. So we
Yeah,
can change it to now let's make a wish because I'm
make a
getting bruised
wish.
arms with all
Yeah.
these bloody yellow cars. And I'm surprised at actually how many yellow cars are out there.
But if you think about the fact that every time you see a yellow car, if you send out what Abraham would call a little rocket of desire, it's like sending that little vibe out. Just have a moment of picturing yourself, I don't know, winning the lottery or getting that job or, finding that
Yeah, I
Monsieur
love
Perfect
it.
or
Oh,
whatever. So
yeah, that would be mine.
yeah, so we do that. What else do I do? When I'm cooking, and Paul does most of the cooking in our house because I am the luckiest bitch on this planet. Um, if I cook, I'll put Reiki symbols into my cooking. So if I'm like stirring my spag
Oh,
bol, I'll stir in my Reiki symbols. They all go in there. And obviously if I'm putting herbs and stuff, that just links in with the witchy type stuff as well. So this is just, so what I'm talking about is just the daily. This is the normal stuff. Birds are quite important at the moment. Birds seem to be really, I keep my eye out for birds an awful lot. I get loads of magpies and crows and stuff around at the moment. And I feel when I saw a robin this morning, which made me really happy and excited. It came to my little window bird feeder. And
Oh,
I kind of see birds as a bit of a nudge from the universe, a little wink from the new universe, especially magpies. I'm a big magpie girl. So if one comes and lands on our shed roof while I'm working, I look out, I'll be like, oh yay. So it's
do
just
you
about
always
that
say the
flag.
thing, one for sorrow, two for joy, all of that?
No, I don't believe that one magpie is a sorrowful thing.
Mm.
Because actually in China they believe that what having a magpie come near you was actually a little blessing. It's just one. So
Mm.
I'm gonna go with
I
this one.
always say when I see them, hello, Mr. Magpie, assuming typical this is, I've
They're all
assumed it's
just
a man.
men.
Hello, Mr.
The
Magpie, how are
patriarchy's
you?
got to
Yeah,
us again.
I know. How are you? And how is your wife and children today? So there's the assumption it's a man,
Yeah.
married and got kids. But it's
Yeah.
just because I don't know, somebody told me that. And it is a ridiculous old wives' tale, I get that, but I can't now help but do it. But it's probably
It's
my
just a thing.
OCD. But
Yeah.
I'm like, I've got to say it, I've got to say it. Oh
Yeah.
my god, I've got to say it.
Yeah, I draw Reiki symbols at them. I throw the holy
Oh,
fire symbol at them.
do
Yeah,
you?
and
I
you know
love
what?
it.
The people, well, I say people, the family takes the mick out of me because if I'm driving along, I'll be like this in the sky with no one can see me with me arm
Yeah.
waggling around. And I ping Reiki symbols at them. Try and do that because when you see a magpie, try and just throw a Reiki symbol at them rather than saying your thing. Because if you can
Yeah.
develop a new habit that feels more positive to you, it might feel better. But I
Yeah,
love
I'll do that.
magpies because I was doing some like druidry kind of work a little while ago, and I did a meditation about spirit animals and stuff. And I had this magpie come and land on me, like in my meditation. It was beautiful. She was very, very big, and she was called Sally, which was really exciting. And she came and she landed on me. So now all magpies are called Sally, and they're all mine. So yes, the birds.
Ah.
But so that the stuff that I've been talking about is and then on nighttime when I'm going to sleep, I have my hands on myself, normally one on the side of my face, one over my heart or chest, and I'll just say Reiki on, Reiki flow, and it'll just flow in as
Oh, I
I'm
need to
falling off
try
to
that.
sleep.
Basically, you've got a whole blooming day, through from waking up to going to bed with stuff you do. I mean, look, my answer in comparison to yours, I mean, wow, Shelley, you blow me out the water with all of your stuff.
No.
But I love it. And I really hope that Claire gets something from that. I mean, there's so much she could take,
I think,
couldn't
I
she?
think my the key point to it is about not seeing it as something you have to do extra. It's about bringing it into just who you are. Because if anyone says to me, and I don't know if it's just the way my brain works or if it's what normal humans think like, but if I have to make time to do something and it's structured and it's routine, I won't do it. I'll do it for 3 days and then
Mm.
it'll drop off because it feels like a chore. And if I feel
Well, it's like
pressured
me
to
on a
do
diet.
something, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I get that completely. If it feels like a chore, if it feels like I have to do it, I won't. I'll literally my heckles will go up, and I just won't
Mm.
do it. But if it's stuff that makes me feel happy, if it's easy to do, if it's not something, because time is a big thing for me, and if I have to give something time, it either has to be super, super important to me or I'm going to have to see an immediate turnaround, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. So if it's a case of, right, well, give yourself an hour for doing universe connection every day, I won't do it. But if I do 5 minutes, like added up, a minute talking to a magpie and another 30 seconds while I just address the sky and breathe in the air of the season, and then I've got my hands on myself while I'm waking up, and then talking to the universe for a minute and a half in the shower. Um, and that's just the stuff that I do, like in my day as part of my
Mm.
day. If I'm
But like
working on something,
we've always talked in the previous episode, haven't we? We all go to the toilet X
yeah,
amount of times a day. So each time we go to the toilet, just put our hands on our hearts or say thank you. It could
three
be
deep
something
breaths.
as small as that. We're
Yeah,
already going to the toilet,
yeah.
God knows how many times. That's then little bits of gratitude and thanks and happiness we're just bringing into our lives sitting on the toilet.
Absolutely. So, it's about incorporating it into the stuff that you already
Mm.
do. If I'm working on something or want to work on something outside of day to day. So if, for example, I become aware of the fact that I've got a bit of a hidden belief going on. I need to get cleaned up, or I want to specifically manifest something specific, or I want to do some healing on myself for one thing or another. I do that on top. That is a
Mm.
specific separate thing that I will carve out time for. Oh, I know what else I do. So I always have what I would call a magical book on my Audible. And whether it is Joe Dispenza, whether it's Abraham Hicks, whether it is it's about law of attraction, whether it's a healing thing, theta heat. I've got like loads of different stuff on my Audible, and some of them I listen to over and over again because I just love them so much. Ho'oponopono, all sorts. When I do the school run, we just have the radio on first thing because the kids just whine if I put anything else on.
Mm.
And then, but when I'm driving back on the school run on a morning, I listen to a magic book, like a non-fiction type
Yeah.
book. I love listening to my stories, but I only allow myself to listen to my stories on the return school run, like the nighttime school run,
Mm.
or when I'm going off to witch school or anything like that. My journey home on a morning takes me half an hour, and it sounds odd I make myself, but this is just it's a bit of discipline. This is what I do. I was listening to Bob Proctor, who's one of the teachers on The Secret, from The Secret, who's big law of attraction teacher guru guy, and he says you need to do half an hour study every single day. So this is
Mm.
reading law of attraction, leaning into hidden belief stuff. This is study that kind of takes you into a self-reflective space. I guess study that really affects what you're doing. And he says read the same book over and over again, or listen to the same you know thing over and over again, or go with new, whatever excites you. But if you do half an hour every single day, your energy you will always expand. You will always be carrying the vibration of expansion and growth and learning and understanding. So I make myself do that as well every damn morning. And sometimes I'll get one and I'll listen and I go, nah, this isn't right, this isn't for me, and I'll knock it off and I'll go with something else. And as I
Mm.
say, I'll come back to the same ones that I've got a Ho'oponopono book that I've listened to I don't know how many times. Money in the Law of Attraction, Esther and Jerry Hicks, come back to that over and over again. Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural, we'll listen to that. Probably I'll be on my sixth listen through with that one now. So yeah, so that's something else that I do. And as I say, if I want to work on something specific, I take time out to work on specifics there.
Well, I think that was a very detailed response. So I think that there's a lot in there that people can take away. So we have one third and final question, and this is from Natasha. And she said, I have a question for Spirit Rebels. How do we manifest the life we want without sorry
Put your
guys,
teeth
let me
in.
start that again. Yes. How do we manifest the life we want without feeling guilty because others may be less fortunate than you? I know that I am not responsible for others and their lives, but how do I stop myself from feeling guilty for wanting a good life for me and my kids? What a lovely and good question that is, actually.
Big question. What do
Because
you how do you feel about that, Flower?
um it's really interesting because I was probably like Natasha for a long time, carried a lot of guilt, thinking, oh my goodness, how can I want to keep making my life better when others don't have that and are less fortunate and things. But actually, you can still want good for others, but you can still want your life to be good. So my view is, well, it's my life and my world, and it's me and my daughter. So therefore, I do want the best for us. So I want to work hard and have a good job and have a nice home and things like that. But that doesn't then stop me so what I try to do is I turn guilt into something positive. So yesterday, for example, I was shopping in Exeter because it was Lily's birthday, and for her birthday she was going to the cinema with her friend, and so I had a couple hours on my own, heavenly. And I
Yes.
walked past a homeless person and he was asking for money, and oh, my heart's like, so I said, look, I have a really small bit of change on me that I can give you because I don't carry cash anymore.
No.
I just
Who
have cards.
does? Yeah.
I said, or I'm happy to go and buy you food and a drink. Do you want anything like that? And he said, well, no, he'd just eaten. Somebody had bought him food. So I gave him the little bit of change I had. Now, his life is obviously very different to mine. And so I gave him what I could. And then I just carried on with my day, but feeling exceptionally grateful that my life's not like that. But I also couldn't allow that to hold me back and draw back on my day, because it is unfortunate, but we do live in a world where lives are very different. So I think it's about kindness and love. And I think as long as I'm always being kind and nice to others and doing the best I can, I shouldn't allow that to hold back on me wanting good things for my life. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense. And it links in with what I was going to say, because again, I'm going to come back to Abraham Hicks, as we know how much I love them. They have a phrase, and I've probably said it at some point through, previous episodes, that you can never be poor enough to make someone else rich. But if you have money, you can do good with that money. But at the end of the day, I honestly think it comes down to hidden beliefs again, as everything does. So many people I work with, and it was a bit of an eye opener for me, because I've never carried this belief. I mean, I carry a lot of other limiting beliefs, but not this one. But I work with so many people who do, and they carry the belief that there is a finite amount of wealth, money, etc., in this world, and if they receive something good, it means that somebody else is actually going to miss out. They're taking that opportunity, that money, that whatever it is from someone else.
Mm,
So this is actually a really, really big belief that a lot of people out there are carrying. So it's about expanding the idea that actually money is limitless, and really in this day and age, go back to when it was just coins and things before even banknotes and stuff were invented. Money was kind of limited because there was
yeah.
only, you had what was made by the little coin making machines, the mint or whatever they call it. Now, money, it's numbers on a screen. The money that is on screens, it doesn't even physically exist. It's just numbers on a bloody screen, which when I think about that, it terrifies me a little bit and blows my mind somewhat, because it just doesn't exist. It's just numbers on a screen. There's not big vaults anywhere with, our actual money in. It's just numbers on the screen that get changed up and down depending what's going on. And it makes me go a bit like, whoa. Um, but it's about this idea that actually money to the universe means nothing. Absolutely nothing. To the universe, money, our £20 notes are like grains of sand, or, you
Mm,
know, um, grains of soil in the earth, or blades of grass, or whatever it might be. To the universe, money's not a thing. It's just us humans that have made money the thing. So it is absolutely limitless. And it's about understanding that it's okay for us to take part of that limitlessness and use that money for something good. There's a big belief out there about money that and I think we talked about this we had a whole episode on money, didn't we? We talk about the idea that money is the root of all evil. I mean, that is such a common used
mm,
phrase. We've been conditioned with this, but money's not bad. It's just how we use it, our intention. And if
yeah,
it's just like a gun isn't bad, but if the person carrying it is carrying those intentions, then it makes it bad,
exactly.
And then
Yeah.
that's not talking about accidents or anything else like that. But money is just money. It's neither good nor bad. It's about the person who is wielding the power of that money and their intention that makes it either good or bad. But coming back to what Abraham was saying about the fact that, you can't be poor enough to make somebody else rich, is that just gets me, because we're
Mm,
all so feeling guilty about asking for money and wanting more money. So we're wanting money for a holiday, well, there's people out there can't put food in their fridge, or they don't have a roof over their head, or they can't pay in certain countries for important medicine to keep their child alive and things like that. And we're like, oh, I want money for a holiday, and I want money to get hair extensions, I want money for this, that, and the other. And okay, so it could seem a little bit like, oh, I can't believe you're asking for money for hair extensions when there's babies dying. And they say, well, actually, if I got hair extensions, would it stop? Would it make a difference? I mean, unless I took that, well, however much money hair extensions is, and sent it to found a person in America who couldn't afford their baby's medication, and sent them it, would it actually, really make a difference? But actually, if I was wealthy and I could afford hair extensions and to send money to vulnerable families in America, well, I could do that. Or in the
Mm.
UK, never mind bloody America. Although we don't have to pay for medication, so that's, the, we'll not talk about America at the moment, shall we? Let's just leave
Yeah,
that
let's
one.
leave that.
Oh, God.
This is not a political podcast.
No, no. And you know what it is? I've avoided politics like for the last, how old am I now? Well, maybe it's for the last like 2 decades, potentially even 3 decades of my life. I've never let it affect me, but I can't get away from this at the moment. It's driving me mad. But yeah, let's leave America out of it. But if we have lots and lots of money, we can help lots and lots of people. You were saying about helping that homeless person. I love that idea of paying it forward, that idea of actually it's okay for me to receive, but it makes me feel good to share in
Mm.
share that with other people. If you had lots and lots and lots of money, you could make money is power. And if you've got money, you can make changes. You can make
Yeah.
big, big changes. So it turns out from being more than just a handful of change or, a cuppa from a cafe somewhere and a sandwich or whatever that you
Mm.
can give one homeless person to starting up a fund for educating vulnerable children or feeding hundreds of homeless people or providing beds for homeless people or getting right in there and changing the way things work so that there aren't any bloody homeless people to begin with.
Wow, exactly. Let's get to the root of the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And when you have money, you have power and you can actually do that because you have choice and you have freedom and you have time and you have everything else. I'm getting on my soapbox now, aren't I? I'll get back
no,
down.
no, we love it. That's what we love about you. So I'm just going back to the question.
Yeah,
So
have I
yes.
actually answered that or have I just wobbled around
Well,
it?
basically, yeah, manifest. We're basically saying manifest the life you want without feeling guilt
Yeah,
because your actions anyway, I'm sure you will probably do really good things for people anyway. You have to, as much as we will want to change the world and we will want to do more and more and more and more, there is only so much we can do, isn't there? So,
yeah,
but what you can control and what you are in control of is what you put out there and how you do things. So I would just say that just to not feel guilty, but be kind, and when you can do good things, continue to do good things. But in
yeah.
the meantime, don't feel guilty for what you're manifesting or for the life you're leading because you've worked hard for that.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, well, I'm going to just challenge you, Helen, because you've just said some things.
Oh, here we go. I'm getting told off, people. It's the first season's chapter back, and I'm getting told off. What have I said? What have I said,
Well,
Shell?
the idea of working hard for it for a start, we don't need to work hard for it. And when we get money, it's not when it comes, the universe doesn't see it's only humans that sees money as a reward for hard work. Really, you can say good, we can do good work, but it's not we're still seeing financial stuff as a reward for working hard. That's totally a human concept. That's nothing to do with
Yeah.
what the universe thinks or believes or knows or anything else. And we need to open up to the possibility that we can literally do no work whatsoever on a physical level, and money can just come into us if we believe that it is safe, we are worthy and deserving of it, and it is possible. But we don't, because we still carry these beliefs that we have to work hard to earn what comes in. So yeah, I'm just sorry, and you know what I'm like. I
No,
just couldn't let that one go.
Shelley, I love it. And you wouldn't be you if you didn't. And our listeners would have probably picked up on it and thought, oh,
Well,
Shelley's let that go. What's going on? So,
oh, I always feel squiggly. I end up turning into a mean, mean monster.
no, you do it in such a lovely way.
I'm the law of attraction police, is what I.
And that is why you are the expert. So, I'm here to learn. So it's absolutely fine. So I really hope that answers your question. I think that kind of wraps up this first episode. It's just so good to be back in your ears, everyone. I hope you're as excited as we are.
Yeah, it's so nice. And you know what? I know at the end of the day, this is going out and people are listening to it. And should we have a look actually at the stats for?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
should we do this live? Let's just give me 2 seconds. I'll see if I
So
can
we had a
bring it
goal that
up.
we wanted to have. Shall I say what our goal was, Charles?
Yeah, yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
so
Yeah.
we had a goal that we wanted to have 500 listens in season 1. What are we at?
625.
Woo! So, and I know in comparison to, your big podcasts out there, those numbers will be small in comparison, but to us, they are massive and they mean so much to us.
They do.
Every single one of those 625 people, you literally are changing things for us. So just thank you. And we hope that you're getting something out of it. If nothing else, a laugh.
Yeah. You know what we should do, Helen? We need to say we are going to do something when we hit 1,000 listens. We need to set a
Okay.
thing to say, right, if you can get us to 1,000 listens, we will do
What will
something.
we
I don't
do?
know
Well, we're not
what.
going to be getting naked or anything
No,
like
oh
that,
God,
Shelley.
no, no one needs that. We'll not
That
get
would
any more
scare
listens
our
after
listeners off.
that. We might be doing things to generate more listens, not less. Oh my God.
Oh, we think
Yeah.
the same
So
way. It's so funny.
let's
Oh,
have a think about
we'll
this.
have a
I'm going to
think about
write
that.
this
Or
on our
maybe
list.
our listeners could come up back with some ideas of what would
Yeah.
you want us to do at 1,000 listeners. Is it a thousand? Yeah, 1,000 listeners. Is it a special episode? Is it you want us to talk about something very specific? Is it you want us to, I don't know, do a little challenge, a sensible little
Yeah.
challenge, people? Nothing crazy. I don't know. Maybe come up with some ideas.
Yeah, it's a good thing. But we will definitely revisit that because I'm hoping that we're gonna, I'm hoping we should hit that within chapter two. But yeah, the sooner the better, really. We need to do something to celebrate, don't we? To
Yeah.
celebrate the fact that that we've got this far because this has been a dream for both you and me, and it's
Yeah.
it's so nice. And to know, though, this is what I was saying before, to know that I guess I love the idea that I am, in people's ears, that our voices are in people's ears, and we are inspiring and helping, and it's not just giving someone a break for 45 minutes or 2 hours for this episode, I think. Um, but it's so nice to be able to do this, to have a little platform where I can get together with my friend and we just sit and chit chat about a particular topic, and then that's it just feels good, is all I'm
It's
trying to
lush. It's
say.
absolutely lush. So no, we are so grateful. So the usual I can't speak today, guys. I'm trying to get myself back into this. So like, rate, subscribe, share, comment, all of the usual podcasty things.
Yeah, tell your friends, tell your
Tell your
friends.
friends. Say, look, there's these two women. Have a listen. You might just like what they talk about. Oh dear. So thank you so very, very much. It is so good to be back with you, Shelley. I've missed it. Even though it's only been 3 weeks break, it's seemed ages. So glad to be
Does
seeing your beautiful
does
face again weekly.
a swamp
And
witch face.
oh no, not at all. But just fabulous. And thank you so, so much.
Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, beautiful Helen, for being here. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.